it's hot. Hey, hello, how are ya? Welcome back to Biblio Chic, and my name is Serena and I like to make things. This video is hopefully a start of a series that I do. Weekly, I'm going to sit and talk about my projects that are something other than sewing. I have recently taught myself how to knit about 5 months ago, so I'm a very new knitter. And I have tried to stop my knitting and film, and oftentimes I knit either in the evening or I take my knitting with me to sit at therapy or at dance practice or wherever I am, I take it with me. And most of the time I just don't feel like hello, you want to sit behind me? Yeah? You don't understand. Who am I talking to? Oftentimes I don't want to break out my camera, especially if I'm sitting home, makeup off, pajamas on, watching TV with my family. I don't really want to stop and, have an update or try to film. So every week I'm going to sit down and share what I am working on, my finished projects, and how far I have progressed. And my hopes is for you to comment down below and also share what you are working on. Let's go ahead and dive in. I do have some projects that I finished about 5 months ago, some of them 3 months ago, that were just they were failures, and I will probably just rip back, so I'm not going to share those today. I'll share them when I frog them and start the new project with that yarn. Today I have, I think, 3 projects that I'm going to share with you, 2 knitting projects and 1 needlepoint project. So let's just go ahead and share. Yay! I have 1 finished project to show you. This is my pumpkin patch sweater by Bad Wolf Designs. I always wanted a pumpkin themed sweater, and last year I typed into Google search pumpkin sweater and I found one, but it is crazy expensive and I couldn't justify buying that sweater, especially when the fiber content wasn't 100% wool. It was acrylic in it, and I was like, why? And it wasn't, it's high quality, but you can obviously see the stitch lines in the shoulders. So I was like, well, I guess I could try to teach myself how to knit, and this plus the Outlander projects that I have in mind is really the reason why I taught myself how to knit 5 months ago. I absolutely love it. I knitted using the Knit Picks DK Swish in Rainforest Heather, which is the main body, which I love. It has like purples and reds and yellows in it, and it's a really, really good heather. The base is merino wool, and it was really, really easy for me to knit up. It did take a while because the gauge is a lot smaller than what I originally was used to when I was knitting some chunky things. Rainforest Heather as the main body, allspice for the pumpkins, and then the red and the brighter green is hollyberry and pea pod. And so far I love this. Is the first Knit Picks yarn that I have knitted with, and if you don't already know, Knit Picks has really affordable 100% natural fibers, and this is merino, you guys. That is a lot less than what I find either locally or even other retailers. So I really, really enjoy this sweater. I am really warm in it. Oh, it's hot. Excited to wear it not only for Halloween to go to the pumpkin patches, but also I like it that transitional into Thanksgiving. Bad Wolf Girl Designs, you can find them on Ravelry as well. I think she has an Etsy store too if you want to get the pattern. As a newbie knitter, the pattern was really, really easy for me to follow. This is my first color work. That was pretty easy, so I think this is a good doable 3rd project for a brand new newbie knitter, especially if you take your time. This was my 4th project, so I think it just turned out really, really well. Bad Wolf Girl Designs has a couple of other color work sweaters in their collection. I kind of want to do, maybe next year, do her Halloween cat, maybe the Jack Skellington inspired one, but I definitely want to do her Harry Potter Honeydukes pattern. As highly, highly recommend this pumpkin patch sweater by Bad Wolf Girl Design. I forgot to mention how many variations there are in this pumpkin patch sweater. There are different yoke lengths, as well as she also gives you different inspiration color combinations. I've obviously opted for what she picked for themselves. I obviously opted for the more traditional green, orange, and red, what she had on her cover, but she gives various different color combinations that you could also try. I do want to say that I picked the shorter yoke, and I opted not to do the red dots right here across the boob. And since it didn't include it in the arms, I thought it just didn't match, so I just left it out entirely. But highly recommend this pattern for anybody that wants to try. Don't be too intimidated. I know it looks like a lot, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. And if it's not perfect, I mean, this is not perfect. I have a whole bunch of bunching, but once I washed it and blocked it out, a lot of that bunching went away. And honestly, when I have it on, I can't even notice that there are bunching. All right, so heading over to my project basket, I have the Toadstool Sweater by Rainbow Folk. I found them on Etsy. I don't know, I think they're also on Ravelry as well. And I actually have this project loaded onto my Ravelry if you want to go follow that or kind of like look at the progress of it. I'm under Biblio Chic. So far I love it. I am finished with the body and I'm getting ready to do the arms. I have several inches in one of the sleeves already. The yarn in this is a bulky yarn, and it's another yarn that I have never knitted with. I actually got this yarn. It's by Valley Yarn. It's their Brookshire Bulky, and it's a wool and alpaca, so it is very soft and very warm. When I originally bought this, I didn't know that the fibers or the yarns was going to be so fuzzy. But once I got it home and got it out of the box, it is definitely a one ply. So that's my only complaint of the yarn. It is sheddy, but you still can see the wonderful work on it, and my daughter absolutely loves it. This is actually, I originally was going to do it for me, but she asked for it, so I think we are going to maybe share it. I'll let her wear it for however long she wants to wear it because she is a 12-year-old person and she, you know, goes in and out of these phases. So whenever she is done, it'll go back into my sweater collection. I did tell her that once I hand this over that she needs to be very careful with it and do not put it through the wash once you're done wearing it. Hang it up. If it's soiled, you need to give it to mom so I can wash it. This pattern, since it is using bulky, it's knitting up so much faster than this project that I'm wearing, my pumpkin patch sweater. My pumpkin patch sweater took about 6 weeks, whereas I started this with this bulky yarn going on my 3rd week. And so yeah, I like working with bulky for this particular sweater. I just don't like how it is fuzzy. I guess I should tell you the colors of the sweater. So obviously the base is black and their colors aren't very fancy. So I have black, burgundy, olive. The stem is heather brown and the little dots on the mushroom part is heather tan. My one complaint about this Rainbow Folk pattern, their Toadstool Sweater, is that I had to basically do some math myself. They give the instruction of spreading these stitches along the line evenly, and I had to basically figure out how many stitches and how many stitches in between the increases. So as a newbie knitter, I would have rather them just tell me straight out how many stitches I need to do. Like, I need to knit 4, increase, knit 4, increase, instead of me just trying to figure it out myself. The pattern is also in metric. This pattern did say that I needed 500 grams of the main color, which I bought 5 skeins of the Valley Yarns Bulky. I have less than 1 skein left, and I have several I have like a foot left of the one sleeve to go, plus another sleeve. I'm not confident that this is going to do it for me. So I am kind of annoyed that I have to do another order to finish this product. I don't know what difference I did. I did maybe knit the body maybe a centimeter more, but I feel like a centimeter more would not just leave this much amount of yarn left. I am going to try to finish as much as possible with the sleeve before I order more yarn, because I want to make sure that I will be able to have enough yarn to finish the other sleeve. So if I run out of yarn before I finish the sleeve, then I know that I need more than 1 skein to finish the project out. But hopefully whenever I order it and get my hands on the the yarn to finish it, I should be done in just a couple of days. So hopefully I will be able to finish this soon and take some decent photos. Okay, so my last project that I am going to share with you is actually a needlepoint project that I am doing. I had shared in my September thrift haul that I am collecting vintage needlepoints, particularly birds, to decorate a wall. In my head, I just want a whole gallery wall of needlepoint birds. And while I did find some really, really good needlepoint birds out there, it wasn't enough. So I decided to get on Etsy and look to see if I could find needlepoint there. And lo and behold, that there is a couple of sellers on there that are selling pre-worked needlepoint. I don't know if this is new vintage stock or what, but basically birds are already pre-worked. All you have to do is come in and just fill in the background. These pre-worked canvases will actually look probably good by themselves if you just want to frame the canvas by itself, but I kind of want color in my gallery of walls, so I am deciding to painstakingly finish these 3 birds. All of my pre-worked canvases have this Monica Imports tag on them, and I tried to do some research on Monica's imports and I really did not come up with anything. So if you know if Monica Imports was a vintage company or is it still in business today, let me know in the comments below. But basically I ordered 3 of these pre-worked canvases. I have yellow finches, I think house sparrow, and I love the house sparrow because they're actually on these thistles that kind of remind me of Scotland and Outlander, so that makes my heart sing. And a pair of 2 hummingbirds. I want to say they're on morning glories, but I'm not sure. I love hummingbirds, especially in the summertime. Well, they're only here in the summertime, but I love watching the hummingbirds outside my kitchen window fight for the nectar, so I knew I wanted to get that. I decided to start working on the yellow finches, and I started this a month ago, and I am probably a third finish. I only work on this in the mornings, drinking my coffee while my kids are eating breakfast right before school. Once I sent my son onto the bus, I usually stay on the kitchen counter finishing up sipping my coffee for about 30 more minutes, and then I'm done for the day. So far I like it a lot. One thing I do not like is the wool that I bought for it. I bought the Anchor Tapestry wool from Lovecrafts. I bought this because I basically searched up tapestry wool because I wanted to have the same wool that they use in these needlepoints, and I thought this would be good. So I bought a lot of it. I don't know if it's this wool or any yarn that I'm going to pull through this canvas, but after about a row of pulling and putting that friction on the yarn, it starts to thin out where it is sitting on my needle, regardless if I actually hold the yarn and pull it through instead of pulling it through the needle. It does. And so by the time I finish the length of yarn, I am pulling the yarn through, and it's like shrunken the half of the diameter, where I can't even use those last 6 inches of the yarn. So that and it bunches up terribly. If I'm not careful pulling back the yarn and pulling it through, it will bunch up, and even sometimes when I am careful, it still bunches up and tangles. So other than that, I don't know if all yarns behave like that in canvas. If you are an experienced needlepoint person, because I obviously am not, tell me in the comments below if that is a regular occurrence, that's just the headache that you have with needlepoint, or point me out to some yarn that you use in your needlepoints that don't do that, because honestly it's a pain in the butt. And had I not bought 3 colors of this Anchor with, I think I bought 10 of these little itty bitty mini skeins, that I would just try to buy new. But so far I like the dusty rose of this, and hopefully by the time I check in next week I will have knitted. I will have sewed more. So that's all I have this week. I think hopefully next week I'll be able to cast on a new knitting project. Let me know in the comments below what you are working on. If you think this is a good series, idea, or do you want me to go back and try to film knitting and you just watch me knit for a long time? But thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!